Hey guys, Mr. DVB here. So today I'm giving you guys my review for Crawl, which is a action horror thriller film about a Category 5 hurricane in Florida where a man played by Barry Pepper is stuck in his crawl space and his daughter comes to save him, but of course there's alligators and they now have to escape and try to survive this experience. So this movie's been out for almost a month now. I never managed to catch it on its opening weekend or opening month for that matter because I was moving. We were going back to BC to get a bunch of our stuff to move it out here, and it was just a long road trip that's like literally half a country away, so I wasn't able to catch this film in the theaters at first, but I luckily saw it tonight, and I really enjoyed this movie. Now, like I said, this is a action horror thriller film. It's only like an hour and 25 minutes long, so this film really honestly just got straight to the point. This is a film about alligators trying to kill people and them trying to survive. So this movie doesn't have, a bunch of like story and dialogue and characterization and that kind of stuff. This movie does some of that. It tries to set up these characters with some backstory that was kind of unnecessary and a little bit corny in my opinion. You have those moments in the film where it's like, oh, this girl's a really good swimmer, so it kind of explains why she's fast at swimming away from these alligators. And then there'll be scenes where they'll cut back and forth between her when she was little, showing her like, doing a good job at swimming, and then it cuts back to her getting away from an alligator. There was some corny stuff like that that's kind of overdone in films like these, but it wasn't a huge deal because, like I said, I went into this film not expecting anything great from a, writing standpoint, and it certainly wasn't. But the one aspect that I do have to say really surprised me with this film was the effects. This movie looked really great, to be honest, and this film only has a $13 million budget, so for that budget that it had, I thought they did a really fantastic job of making everything look really realistic. The alligators in the film looked fantastic. They were CGI, I believe, the entire movie, and they looked really damn good. The water looked really cool in this movie when there's like the big floods happening and it's CGI. It looks really real. And just the set design in general. This movie had like a really edgier seat, kind of claustrophobic feel to it that I think really worked towards the tone and the overall feel of this movie, because it did really fit that thrilling aspect. There was a lot of creepy moments when these alligators would be going after the characters, and like I said, everything worked here really, really well, and I was just really surprised with the visuals and how well all the set design was and everything like that. So this film was honestly really surprising from that aspect, and I gotta give them props for that. Otherwise, the performances in this movie were pretty good for the most part. I mean, there's only really two characters you follow for the most of this movie. There's a few extra side characters that are basically there to just get killed and add to the body count. And trust me, there are some really good kills in this movie. This film had a lot of blood. I'm happy that it went for an R rating and it wasn't like this PG-13, half-assed action, alligator movie where there's barely any blood or anything like that. There is arms being torn off, there's heads being ripped off, so this movie honestly was really good in that aspect. So overall, guys, I enjoyed this film. Like I said, from a dialogue standpoint, it was weak. But if you're going into this expecting, a action thriller film about alligators in a basement, which is what you should be going into it expecting, then you're probably going to enjoy this film like I did. So I'm going to give this movie a 8 out of 10. Now, one thing I kind of want to quickly mention about that rating is I feel like sometimes people are a little surprised when people rate movies higher than they do other films. For example, I gave Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a 7.5 out of 10, and I gave this an 8. Does that mean this is a better movie than that film? No, that film is better than this movie in many, many ways. I'm kind of just rating them for the type of movie they are. I'm rating Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as a Tarantino film, so I thought it was kind of disappointing in that aspect. And I'm rating Crawl for a hour and 25-minute creature feature. Is it better than movies like The Meg? Yes. So that's kind of where I come from on my rating standpoint with this film. But overall, guys, like I said, enjoyable movie. Go check it out if you get the chance. I don't think it'll be in theaters that much longer, but chances are you're probably going to go see Hobbs and Shaw or something like that if you haven't seen this movie yet. But overall, yeah, really enjoyed this film, and I'll see you guys next time where I'll be reviewing Hobbs and Shaw. So I'll see you all then.